If anyone could guess what kind of animal the skin in question belonged to, the king would betroth his daughter to that person. Suddenly a wild man pushed his way through the crowd and emerged. When the guards saw that it was a wild man, they immediately intended to drive him away. However, the king signaled his men to let him through because he had previously announced to the whole kingdom that anyone had the right to participate in this lottery. A wild man took a gentle sniff and said, "A flea." Upon hearing this answer, the king was immediately rendered speechless. The wild man had guessed correctly. According to the agreement, he was to marry the princess. I was at a flea. Well, 3 years ago, the castle was holding the princess's 18th birthday coming of age ceremony. Everyone was quietly watching the performance, but the king alone was attracted by a tiny flea on his hand. The king opened his right hand and the flea would jump onto it quite obediently. He no longer had the heart to watch the performance and grabbed the little flea and went back to his bedroom. After that, he pricked his fingertip and fed the little creature with his own blood, and as time went by, the little flea had grown so strong that it was able to pull a small carriage. The king believed that once the flea grew even larger, he could just sit in the carriage and travel around the world. One night, the royal physician, who was sound asleep, was suddenly summoned by the king, but it was all too late. The flea had passed away due to breathing difficulties. The death of the little creature made the king extremely grief-stricken, and that is how the scene at the beginning came about.